just superimposition of thirds. That's all it is. So we'll sing this one. Let's sing. Do, mi, sol, si, re, si, sol, mi, do. Close voicing. Open. Now we only do root position. The next one would be the major chord with major 7 and major 9 on the subdominant, step 4. So that takes us through the series of the 7 steps. Now, you're going to say, well, I have to do this every day for 6 days. I take a break on a 7th day. Well, depending on what your level of interest is, first of all, you don't need to go through all 7 steps, especially at an early stage. I would say if you go only from 1 with the intervals, that would be enough. And some days you might just want to do the triads, you know, the 3-note chords. So ideally, when you get to an advanced level, it takes you about 25 minutes to 30 minutes to go through the whole book. And once you do it once, the second time, you don't need to do it in slow motion. You can do it quite fast. You can go, I'm going to do it solfege because that's the way I'm used to it. So I would play. The important thing is to hear it and your mind to know, I'm listening, and you hear already in your mind, C. That's what has to happen, the wiring. The moment you hear this, your mind has to unison and say, oh, C, E, G, G, C. And then you say it. By saying it, seeing it, and hearing it, you're using most of your senses, right? Hearing, audio, and tactile. C, E, G, G, E, C. And you can do it faster. So depending how fast or how advanced you are, you don't have to do it very slow in order to be effective. You can do a little faster. And the same structure applies to the G major, to all the other ones. The structure doesn't change. So the most difficult is going to be the first one, to read the theory, to talk to another teacher if you're a student, and to understand. But you don't need to take all 7 steps. All right. Any questions? Now would be a good time to ask me any questions that you might have about this.
I have a question about the warm-up we did on the minor scale.
Yes.
You did not use the
Minor, we did not do a minor scale today. We did.
Well, we did. What did we do? What is that? It's
I can't see that far.
page 9.
The harmonic,
Page
I think he's talking about?
It starts major and it's minor.
Melodic mode.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I wondered about
Okay,
that too.
so this, well, yes, it's a very good question.
So I wasn't sure if you were introducing another mode.
Oh, mode. So mode means different style. You're still in C major, but copying what we do in the minor scale, where we know we have the natural mode, the regular 7 notes, which is very melodic, but we usually use the harmonic mode for tonal purposes, for harmony. We do not use the A minor. That means we use that 7th note that derives from the raising the 7th stem. That's called the harmonic. Raising 6 and 7.
Right.
And the Bach version, you come down with the natural. Right? So the same structure applies to a major scale, though it is not used commonly. But when you study music at 100% of understanding how it goes, there's a symmetry, and the word symmetry is a key word in music as much as tension and repetition. So symmetry is a vital element in learning music, because the structure that applies in the minor scale with the natural, harmonic, and melodic is identical, not as much used for sure in the major scales. So this is a theoretical concept, but it's good for the children. If they learn this in minor, do it in major. What's the big deal? The idea is to understand symmetry and structure in tonal scales. So that was a very good question. The thing that we probably won't have time much today, the goal, purpose, and benefit. Myths versus facts, number 10. Some people think, oh, I gotta be born with perfect pitch or great pitch. To me, that's a myth. Yeah, you're gonna have geniuses that are like, maybe some children that might be on the autism spectrum that have that innate ability to just hear something and they go on the piano. Studies have been done. neuroscientists have researched this, and they get a person that never touched the piano, they have some kind of accident with lightning or something, and they suddenly play any kind of music, and you say, how did you? No, it just comes. So there are exceptions, but we're talking about the regular average person. If you can speak, you can sing, you can learn. So it's a matter of wiring the brain the way you wire your speech through visual learning and hearing the same way from music. So that's that. Dedicated practice, 7 parts, we did this, very good. Solfege versus alphabet. There's no difference. Ideally, you should use do, re, mi, because the structure of the sounds, the syllables, is more easier to pronounce. It just sounds well, and it's dedicated only to music, do, re, mi. ABC you can use for anything else. The origin of alphabet in music notation comes from the German school of music theory, where they use the letters to abbreviate, not writing do, sol, all these letters. So it's a form of abbreviation, shorthand, when you notate harmonies, and Bach used that and all that. But for the purpose of learning to sing and name notes in singing, everybody uses do, re, mi. But nowadays in the US and other countries, they use the alphabet, which is fine. There's nothing wrong if you're used to using alphabet. The point is to wire your brain. Very good. We did this, we did that. Well, to conclude, we need to, we spoke about this, Q&A, right? Now, here's the schedule. It's on page 6 of your notes, number 22. I'm open April 14, 28, 20, 21, 28, 15, 12, May 12, May 19, May 26, June 2nd. And we're gonna be studying on April 14th, which is next Saturday, same time, same place, if everything is agreeable, or we might need to change location.
An adjudication.
Well, we can certainly change the day or the time, or
Yeah, this
You get
classroom,
it.
the classroom won't be available.
this classroom won't be available.
No.
Well, if anybody's interested, we can communicate through Fran, or
And not next week.
not next
I'm
week.
involved in adjudication.
I understand that. So we'll leave it for another week, but basically the next classes that I would do would be the minor relative. You would get the lesson 2, and we would discuss the music theory aspects, which are these manuals, which are all included, the information about them in your brochures and all that, if you're interested. So you can email, communicate with Fran if we want to get together, let's say April 28th.
I also have a sign-up sheet if you.
Yeah, or if they're not ready now, they want to think about it, they can contact you by phone or email. You have my phone. And I'm also gonna give you my business card to everybody that would like to have it. And if you'd like to purchase these things, I give you some costs, special reductions for the manuals. They're all PDF, they're printable. You can use them with your students or for yourselves. And I'm gonna give everybody my card. You have the card. And what else do I need to do? Yes, please send me your notes, suggestions, more questions, and email them to the email that I put there. And I want to thank you very much for making the effort to come here. I hope I was fluent, and I realized that I have to address a mixed crowd, so to speak. So I hope I appreciate your patience and understanding. And as we finish, maybe you folks would like to have a picture. We can all take a picture outside. I can send it to you.
I don't think we wanna go outside.
One for you.
Camera adds 20 pounds to me.
Yes.
I'm thinking.
Oh, so sorry. Thank you.
Huh?
Thank you.
I got,
Yeah.
I got it.
God
How
willing.
many? Photos.
4 cameras on you?
One second. What?
Oh, cookies. I thought you said, I thought when I said a camera adds 20 pounds, I thought you said I have 4 cameras on me. It's 80 pounds.
Yeah, I would appreciate very much your observations and maybe a nice note or something, considering that we gave an introductory offer here, because I use this as a promotional, saying, oh, I love that, it was good, I like this, or I didn't like that. So I'd appreciate very much some feedback. Who didn't I give a card here?
Now, are the cost of classes the same?
No, the cost of this class is $75, but I thought I'd make a goodwill gesture. Anybody didn't get a card? Oh, everybody got a card. Yeah, so that's why I reduced to basically cover the expense of the, oh, I'm sorry. That's it, everybody has a card? Yeah, and if I can help with anything else, but please stay in touch. Any questions right now? Any observations? So we're good.
Nobody would care but a purist, but yesterday it was a McCartney song, not a Lennon song.
Oh,
Lennon had
Yesterday,
Yesterday,
it's a Paul McCartney song.
yeah.
yes.
Lennon
Right.
had nothing to do with it.
You know why? Because I went to the NAMM convention, the Music Manufacturers Convention, and they have a John Lennon bus, and they gave me all kinds of stickers, and I'm looking at this sticker all day. Thank you very much. Thank you. I stand corrected. There's nothing wrong.
Like I said, nobody else would care, but
I do care. I did make a mistake. I rushed, but you're right. Thank you. Exactly. Well, I want to thank you guys very much for coming, for being so patient, and I wish you a lot of luck. I hope this helps. Please share the knowledge with other young people or anybody that's interested, and be patient. The cycle is about 32 weeks if you do it properly. 6 days a week, even if you don't do the 7 chords or the 9 chord, but if you can structure yourself to repeat that in the evening. Very important, classroom versus private practice. I forgot to mention this, and I wanted to address this. It is in private practice that you do the real study. I bless you. In the introductory pages here, there is a little note. There's a little introduction that says, as you turn the first page, 15 commandments for successful learning. Okay? Success starts with that. Read that. Read that. It's a lot of the stuff that we spoke about today. Okay. On the last back page, you have my bio. And also a couple of pages back, this is for teachers. Very important. Page 41. Success starts with dedicated practice. This is advice to students. Valuable things to read for the students. Okay? The last 3 pages. 41, 42, 43. And I know there's one more thing that the teachers will love. Yeah. Yeah. So I would urge all of you, if you could study this first part. When you work at home, you need to have conditions to maximize your learning, whether it's math or music or anything. You have to have quiet, lighting, you have to be a little rested, eat something, so the mind can be focused. Without focus, you're wasting your time. You can do this fast, but if you do it fast and look out the window, that's nothing. You might as well do something. You have to be intensely focused on the exercise. If you need to take a break after 3 minutes, too much, take a break. But don't go through it because Mr. David said 20 minutes straight. You might not be able to do that. So break it down in little parcels or work only on one thing. But make it quality time that you spend exercising this. Even if you do only the triads today. Da 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 da. And then you read. Da 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 da. And then you do it. So don't rush. Good conditions. Best learning is done, that's why they say go to the library to work. You cannot study seriously with stress around you. Stress is motivating in a certain way, but stress takes away from the quality of the learning. And music cannot happen when you have noise. Learning is reduced, like up to 80-90% of learning when there's noise around you. You think you're learning, you're just reading things, but you cannot assimilate because you're being bombarded with signals, too much light, somebody's talking, the smell of the food in the kitchen, I'm getting hungry. But it's true, we function based on impulses. We're all based on impulses. So you have to find that time, a day, a space where you can stay quietly and you open one page and you go, I read this. Okay, now listen to this. Oh, let's see if somebody can give me a la, A. Wait, you can whistle it. All right, find C. Can we be in unison, please? No, give me the A again. Find C. Now let's do it in steps. C major. Now let's try to find G. This is loud. This is A. Let's find now D. One way. Or way. La, la. So the more you practice, the more you'll find different ways to travel. It's like driving on a highway. There's so many streets. You can make a right or left and you still get to China Lake. There's nowhere to go. Everything is dead. Just kidding. But the bottom line is the way you travel from your A to whatever scale you want to go. Let's say you want to go to E flat. That's tough, right? So find a way to go to E flat. Notes in E flat. Oh, I got this note, right? A new melody. So traveling through each one of those tonalities, the 30 solo systems, is a way to find a connecting note that brings you. So we know every scale has 7 notes, right? So one of those 7 notes, you don't have to jump from A to the E flat, which is so distant and remote. But if you know E flat is made of E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E. So you can use a side entrance, a short. Right? Or you want to go to another crazy note. You want to go to C sharp. So you know. I'm using one of the 7 notes from the key I want to travel to in C sharp. So I use the 5th note, which is G sharp. C sharp. I could have thought of it as D flat major or something, but then this would have been B double flat. So that's why I said A, G sharp, E. Or so the way we try, but that's part of ear training, and that goes a little later on when you master the intervals and the chords. How do you travel together? That's part of learning harmony, which is not very difficult, but you cannot do number 3 unless you go through step 1 and 2. It's just basic crawling, walking, running, and then the Olympics, you know. So I want to thank you very much. If you have any more questions, if you'd like to take a picture, we can go outside or whatever. Yes, I'll give it back to Deb and Fran to make an
The
announcement.
gate is unlocked, it's just, it's closed, but it's unlocked, so thank you.
So I'll meet you guys outside if you want to take a quick picture. Thank you.
The walking